This is always one of the more exciting days of the year for us, and we're really excited to get out there on the field tomorrow. A couple things we got to do tonight. Just to give you some housekeeping things, a couple of players that you won't see out of practice tomorrow. We'll put out a little bit more of an expanded medical report tomorrow. But Desmond Peoples and Charles Snowway have not been cleared medically yet to practice. They'll be with us, but you won't see them out on the field. In terms of other things, Kwan Lewis and DeJuan Walker, we have two paperwork issues that we feel like there's a good chance will be settled by practice tomorrow. So we're optimistic that we'll have them on the field tomorrow, but we won't know really until the morning and see how quickly we can move that process. And Najee Clayton, I think everybody's aware of his situation. It'll be a little bit like Kevin Wilkins, so he'll be a couple days away, and we're looking forward to having him by the end of training camp. And the last thing I would say before opening for questions is, the prayers of our entire program right now are with the family of Tim Hosey. Doc Hosey's been with Rutgers for over 30 years, and I've got to know him on a personal level over the last 11 seasons, and somebody who cared a lot about our program, cared a lot about our players and this community, and it was a shock to all of us to hear of his passing over the weekend.
He's obviously been on the sideline a lot. I mean, how much did he love Rutgers football?
Tim was a part of our family, part of our program, and really helped heal a lot of our players over the years. Somebody who gave his time very generously to this program.
What will be your message when you meet the players tonight? Is there one overarching theme to training camp?
It's time for us to get to work. We know it's been highly publicized what our goals are and how we want to move this program, and our goals are to take this program to places that we haven't been. Over the last 3 years, we've won the first conference championship, we've won the first Lambert Cup, we've continued to go to bowl games. Now we want to go to New Year's Day bowl games, Eastern Division championships, Final Four appearances, national championships. Those are the places this program hasn't been, and places that we're building towards, and I know those are the goals of the team. None of those get done without our focus on tomorrow. And our focus will be completely on tomorrow and being 1-0 tomorrow, and that'll be the process. So now we'll go from an off-season of setting goals and a lot of hard work to really the day-to-day process of building a football team.
Kyle Ruhan was just out here talking to us. A couple things. How's he integrated into cornerback, and kind of in terms of his demeanor, what have you noticed in terms of changes? Because he seemed pretty humble out here.
I'm pleased with his offseason. Anytime you do something your whole life and then it gets taken away from you, I think it's an eye-opening experience. I think it's been that for Ruhan. I'm pleased with the offseason that he has had. I'm pleased with what he's been able to do so far. We've been a little bit limited in what we've been able to do with him. At defensive back, you can do a little more than maybe some of the other positions. A ball isn't always required, but until you put the football out there, you don't really know. But I think he's done a good job so far, and tomorrow will be the real test.
Kyle, any position changes expected that we'll see tomorrow?
We had talked a little bit about Charles Snowway possibly going to defense. We worked with him a little bit this summer doing that. But now with his status, really, that's not going to be an issue, so I don't anticipate any others.
And how about Quanzel? Is he going to stay inside, or is he back to end?
Quanzel gives us a lot of flexibility. I don't know. I think he'll practice in all those places this training camp.
Coach, are you going to keep Chaffee at safety, corner?
He's been playing safety since the spring. I think we'll keep him there right now, and know that he's got a lot of practice playing corner over the last 2 years, and if we needed him to play a little bit there, he could do that. And same thing with DeLon Stevenson. DeLon's another guy who gives us a lot of flexibility back there.
You said at Big Ten Media Day you were so excited to have Leonte back for another year. How much will he help lead this training camp this year?
Yeah, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be excited to bring back one of the more dynamic playmakers, really, in our conference? And Leonte's a proven playmaker. His leadership is going to be counted on. Every year, your leadership cycles in college football, and we were very fortunate last year to have guys like David Maluski, Lorenzo Waters, Michael Burton, Gary Nova. 4 of our 5 captains don't return. We're excited to have Darius back. He'll provide leadership, but to have a guy like Leonte on offense, that'll help bridge the gap a little bit. And then over the course of training camp, we're going to see other leaders, and they're going to emerge. I couldn't even tell you who they are right now, but I'm anxious to get out there and find out.
Does it help to have him back, especially with trying to find a quarterback too here?
I think everybody in the quarterback room was happy that Leonte came back. That's for sure.
I know you're comfortable with the depth at running back, no matter who's in the game, but to have Paul James, does he bring a different dimension to this offense when he's out?
I don't know that he brings in a different dimension than some of the things we saw some of those young guys do last year, but what Paul does do is he creates explosive plays from the running back position. That's where it is so valuable. one of the things that we look at as a football team in terms of determining wins and losses, and it's really it's been a factor for a long time here, is explosive plays of 25 yards or more. And Paul James is the guy who creates those plays, and he helps us win football games because of it. I think we've got other guys in the room that do that. So when you say, is he different, I don't necessarily know that he's different, but he's very productive, that's for sure.
Would you be interested to see him take that first hit? I mean, is there any apprehension at all about a guy coming back from injury like that?
I've seen him do it before, so I don't have any apprehension towards it. I think he's going to be just fine.
Kyle, what about you've had quarterback competitions in spring camps and training camps before. What does that do to a training camp practice? Does it raise the energy when there's competition at that spot?
Anytime you have competition, I think it's good for the football team. The fact that we have a competition tells me that I know we've got two guys that we feel confident in right now can go win football games for us. But you guys know how I feel. Ultimately, we have to make a decision. We're going to have to decide who the starting quarterback is. Then we're going to have to give him an opportunity to get ready for the season, because it's the single toughest position to play in all the sports. So I want to make sure he's got enough time.
Will the reps be fairly even? And does Dare or Signo, do they get anything? I mean, how do the quarterback reps go?
Anything beyond the first two, they'll kind of get what they earn. And certainly everybody has an opportunity, but those opportunities aren't necessarily equal. For the first two guys, they'll be close. I don't know if they'll be exactly equal, but they'll be close.
Any clarity on Nadir in the last week?
I don't think we'll have an idea on that really for a few weeks when all the grades come in. I'm confident that we'll know before we start game planning exactly who'll be available to us.
But no matter what, you have him in training camp?
Correct.
Training camp structure, same as pretty much last year. I know you talked about how much you'd like just being able to change it up a little bit.
Very similar. There's not a lot of flexibility anymore in the way you do it because of the rules. The first 5 practice are your acclimatization period. Then you're allowed to have 2-a-days, but you're not allowed to have them on consecutive days. So for us, we'll go through the first week with our acclimatization period, and then this Saturday will be our first 2-a-day. And I would add that this Saturday afternoon practice will be the open session this training camp.
You stole my question.
Fire up the Twitter.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate everybody coming out today.